As we transition from the midterm exams and delve into the latter part of the semester, a new literary landscape unfolds before us, the captivating world of poetry. This genre, distinct from the plays and novels we've explored, will transport us to the late 18th and early 19th centuries, a period marked by the rise of Romanticism. We'll immerse ourselves in this fascinating movement, understanding its nuances, its proponents, and its lasting legacy. Our journey through Romanticism will be a departure from the familiar terrains of the 16th, 17th, and 18th centuries we've previously traversed. Leaving behind the works of Shakespeare, Webster, and Voltaire, we venture into a period where new ideas about art, literature, and the very essence of human experience were taking root. This era, brimming with revolutionary fervour, produced a generation of poets who dared to challenge conventions and reshape the literary landscape. Through their evocative verses, they painted vivid pictures of nature's sublimity, explored the depths of human emotion, and celebrated the power of the imagination. Before we embark on this exploration, it's crucial to clarify what we mean by Romanticism. In our everyday conversations, the word romantic often evokes images of love, courtship, and happily ever afters. However, Romanticism, as a literary and artistic movement, encompasses a far broader and more profound concept. It's not simply about love stories, it's about a fundamental shift in how we perceive the world around us and the very nature of human existence. Romanticism, in its purest form, is a celebration of the wild, the strange, the extraordinary. It's about embracing the untamed beauty of nature, delving into the depths of human emotion, and unlocking the boundless potential of the imagination. This movement, which swept across Europe and left an indelible mark on Western culture, was about challenging the status quo, rejecting rigid conventions, and forging a new path for art and literature. Romantic poetry, in particular, embodies this spirit of revolution. It breaks free from the constraints of traditional verse, experimenting with form and language to create a more fluid and expressive style. Gone are the days of strict adherence to rhyme schemes and metrical patterns. Romantic poets sought to liberate poetry from its rigid confines, allowing it to flow freely, mirroring the ebb and flow of human emotion and the boundless wonders of the natural world. This departure from tradition extended to the very themes and subjects explored in Romantic poetry. While earlier poets often focused on lofty ideals and classical themes, the Romantics turned their gaze inward, exploring the complexities of human emotion and the individual's relationship with the natural world. Nature, for the Romantics, wasn't merely a picturesque backdrop, it was a source of profound inspiration, a mirror to the human soul, and a realm where the imagination could roam free. To truly understand Romantic poetry, we must first step back and immerse ourselves in the historical context that gave rise to this groundbreaking movement. The late 18th and early 19th centuries were a time of profound transformation, a period marked by social, political, and intellectual upheaval that reverberated throughout Europe and beyond. The Enlightenment, with its emphasis on reason, logic, and scientific inquiry, had dominated the intellectual landscape for decades. Yet, as the 18th century drew to a close, a new generation began to question the limitations of this purely rational worldview. The French Revolution, which erupted in 1789, sent shockwaves across Europe, challenging the established order and igniting a fervent desire for change. The ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity resonated deeply with the Romantics, who saw in this revolution a reflection of their own yearning for individual freedom and social justice. Amidst these turbulent times, a new awareness of nature's power and beauty began to emerge. The Industrial Revolution, while transforming society in unprecedented ways, also brought about a growing sense of alienation from the natural world. The rise of factories led to rapid urban growth, drawing people from rural areas and altering the social fabric. The Industrial Revolution advanced technology, but created a stark urban-rural divide. The idyllic countryside contrasted with industrial grime. For Romantics, this was a deeper philosophical divide. They sought solace in nature's untamed beauty. Nature became a sanctuary and symbol of purity. The Romantics saw in nature a reflection of their own inner lives, a canvas upon which they could project their hopes, fears, and aspirations. They believed that by immersing themselves in the natural world, they could tap into a deeper truth, a primal connection that transcended the artificiality of human society. Wordsworth, perhaps the most celebrated Romantic poet, famously described poetry as the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings, recollected in tranquility. This emphasis on the interplay between emotion, memory, and the natural world is a hallmark of Romantic poetry. The Romantics sought not just to describe nature, but to evoke its emotional resonance, to capture the sublime awe it inspired, the sense of wonder and transcendence that could be found in its embrace. They believed that by sharing these experiences through their poetry, they could awaken in their readers a similar sense of connection to the natural world. This emphasis on the power of nature was closely linked to the Romantics' fascination with the imagination. For them, the imagination wasn't simply a tool for escapism, it was a vital faculty of the human mind, a source of creativity, innovation, and spiritual insight. While the Enlightenment had placed reason on a pedestal, the Romantics saw imagination as an equally important aspect of the human experience. They believed that the imagination allowed us to transcend the limitations of the material world, to explore new possibilities, and to connect with something larger than ourselves. This emphasis on imagination is evident in the Romantics' fascination with the supernatural, the mystical, and the sublime. They explored these themes not as mere flights of fancy, but as ways of probing the mysteries of the human psyche and the universe itself. The Romantics believed that the imagination could unlock hidden truths, reveal the interconnectedness of all things, and inspire us to create a more just and beautiful world. This belief in the transformative power of imagination is a key legacy of Romanticism, one that continues to resonate in art, literature, and culture today. Having established the historical and intellectual backdrop against which Romanticism emerged, let's delve into the specific characteristics that define Romantic poetry. What sets this movement apart from its predecessors? What makes a poem distinctly romantic? The answer, as we've begun to explore, lies not just in the themes addressed, but in the very spirit, the essence of these works. Romantic poetry is marked by a profound embrace of the extraordinary, a celebration of all that is wild, untamed, and evocative. Unlike the poets of the Augustan era, who often sought to impose order and reason upon their verse, the Romantics embraced emotional intensity, subjective experience, and the boundless realms of the imagination. Their poems are characterized by a sense of spontaneity, a willingness to break free from convention, and a deep reverence for the power of nature. One of the most striking features of Romantic poetry is its emphasis on emotion. While earlier poets had often treated emotions with restraint, the Romantics placed them at the very heart of their work. They believed that true poetry sprang from the depths of human experience, from the wellspring of feeling that connected us to the world around us. Central to the Romantic worldview was a profound reverence for nature. The Romantics viewed nature as a source of inspiration, spiritual renewal, and divine revelation. Nature was a living entity, imbued with spirit and power. Immersing in nature tapped into a deeper truth, transcending human society. Wordsworth defined poetry as the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. Romantic poetry emphasized emotion, memory, and the natural world. They sought to evoke nature's emotional resonance and sublime awe. In the realm of Romantic poetry, emotion reigns supreme. It is the lifeblood that courses through every line. The Romantics rejected the Enlightenment's emphasis on reason, arguing that human emotions and imagination were equally valid. They celebrated the full spectrum of human emotion, from joy and love to despair and longing, seeing in these feelings a reflection of our shared humanity. This emphasis on emotion is evident in their use of language. They favoured vivid imagery and a lyrical style, mirroring the ebb and flow of feeling. Their poems are often intensely personal, exploring the inner landscape of the human heart. The Romantics believed that by giving voice to their own emotions, they could connect with their readers on a deeper level. They sought to create poetry that spoke to the soul, stirring the heart and igniting the imagination. Section 4: Imagination Unleashed, Beyond the Bounds of Reason. While the Enlightenment championed reason, the Romantics saw imagination as equally vital. For them, imagination was a powerful faculty of the mind, allowing us to transcend material limitations and explore new possibilities. This is evident in their fascination with the supernatural and the sublime. The transformative power of imagination continues to resonate today. Section 1: Wordsworth, the poet of nature's heartbeat. William Wordsworth, the founding father of Romantic poetry, was born in England's Lake District. His deep connection with nature shaped his poetry. Wordsworth's childhood in the Lake District instilled a reverence for the natural world. He saw nature as a teacher and a reflection of the divine. This bond is evident in his poetry, from lyrical ballads to meditative works. Poems like Tintern Abbey capture nature's transformative power. Coleridge, weaving dreams and supernatural visions. Unlike Wordsworth's naturalistic verse, Coleridge explored the darker, mystical side of Romanticism. His poetry blurs reality and imagination, revealing the human psyche's complexity. This is best seen in the Rime of the Ancient Mariner, a tale of a cursed sailor and supernatural encounters. Coleridge's vivid imagery and haunting atmosphere explore the darker side of human nature. While Wordsworth sought solace in nature and Coleridge delved into the supernatural, Lord Byron embodied the romantic spirit of rebellion and individualism. Byron's life, as tempestuous as his poetry, was a whirlwind of passion, adventure, and defiance of social conventions. His works, characterized by passionate intensity and biting wit, captivated and scandalized Victorian society. Byron's most enduring creation is the Byronic hero, a brooding, enigmatic figure often misunderstood and ostracized by society. This archetype, seen in works like Childe Harold's Pilgrimage and Don Juan, resonated deeply with the Romantic spirit. Byron's poetry continues to resonate with readers today, reflecting his challenge to conventions and his celebration of individualism. Percy Bysshe Shelley, a contemporary and close friend of Byron, shared his rebellious spirit and passion for social justice. Shelley's works are imbued with a fervent belief in love, imagination, and human perfectibility. His poetry, characterized by lyrical beauty and philosophical depth, celebrates the transformative power of nature and the human spirit. This utopian vision is evident in poems like Ode to the West Wind and Prometheus Unbound. Shelley's life, though tragically cut short, left an indelible mark on the Romantic movement. His poetry continues to inspire with its message of hope and celebration of beauty. Romantic poetry often explores the profound relationship between humanity and the natural world. For the Romantics, nature was a living entity, a mirror to the human soul and a source of spiritual nourishment. They embraced its emotional resonance, finding solace, inspiration, and a reflection of their inner turmoil in its beauty. Wordsworth eloquently captured this sentiment in Tintern Abbey, viewing nature as an integral part of the human experience. The Romantics found in nature a reflection of their emotional landscape, projecting their hopes, fears, and aspirations onto it. Nature became a canvas for their deepest emotions and philosophical musings. The Romantics celebrated the boundless power of the imagination. For them, imagination was a vital faculty, a source of creativity, innovation, and spiritual insight. Coleridge epitomized this fascination with the imagination, transporting readers to otherworldly realms in his poems. In Kubla Khan, he conjures a fantastical palace, merging reality and imagination. The Romantics believed imagination allowed access to truths beyond reason, serving as a bridge to the divine. Through imagination, they reshaped the world, imbuing it with new meaning. This emphasis on imagination is evident in their use of symbolism, allegory, and myth. At the heart of Romantic poetry lies a celebration of emotion. The Romantics argued that emotion, intuition, and subjective experience were valid ways of understanding the world. Their poems express raw, unfiltered feelings, delving into the depths of human experience. Byron poured his tumultuous emotions into his verse, exploring love, loss, and the search for meaning. The Romantics believed that by voicing their emotions, they could connect with readers on a deeper level. They sought to create poetry that spoke to the soul, stirring the heart and igniting the imagination. To grasp the revolutionary spirit of Romantic poetry, we must understand the Enlightenment it challenged. The Enlightenment championed reason, logic, and objective observation as the primary means of understanding the world. Romantic poets diverged from this emphasis on pure reason, embracing emotion, intuition, and imagination. This shift led to a radical departure in artistic expression, favoring spontaneity and emotional intensity. While Enlightenment writers employed satire and irony, the Romantics aimed to inspire a deeper understanding of the human condition. They explored themes of love, loss, and the search for meaning in a chaotic world. The divergence between Romanticism and the Enlightenment is evident in their views on nature. Enlightenment thinkers sought to classify and harness nature for human benefit. The Romantics revered nature as a source of inspiration, spiritual renewal, and divine revelation. They celebrated its untamed beauty and awe-inspiring power, transcending human reason. Enlightenment literature employed satire to critique societal flaws, while Romantic writers aimed to inspire a deeper understanding of the human condition. They explored themes of love, loss, and the search for meaning in a chaotic world. Romantic poets broke free from rigid forms, embracing a more organic, flowing style. They experimented with free verse and blank verse, allowing for greater emotional expression. This departure from tradition reflected a shift in how they viewed poetry. They believed true poetry sprang from powerful feelings and the depths of human experience. This emphasis on emotional authenticity marked a turning point in the history of poetry. It paved the way for future poets to experiment with form, language, and subject matter. The Romantics' legacy extends far beyond literature. Their ideas about emotion, imagination, and our connection to nature have had a lasting impact on art, music, and philosophy. Their celebration of individuality and questioning of societal norms paved the way for future social movements. Their reverence for nature continues to inspire environmental awareness and activism. The Romantics reminded us of the power of art to touch the human soul and connect us to something larger. Their poetry continues to resonate, offering solace, inspiration, and a reminder of the beauty of the human experience. Romanticism, born in a time of profound change, continues to resonate deeply today. The themes of nature, imagination, and human emotion remain relevant and evocative. In a world dominated by technology and progress, the Romantics' call to reconnect with nature feels vital. Their poetry reminds us of the importance of preserving our connection to the natural world. Their celebration of individuality and belief in the transformative power of art continue to inspire. The Romantic spirit remains a potent force in contemporary culture, emphasizing passion, creativity, and personal transformation. Romanticism's impact extends beyond literature, influencing art, music, and philosophy. Romantic painters like Caspar David Friedrich and J.M.W. Turner captured nature's sublimity and human emotion. Composers like Beethoven and Schubert embraced the Romantic spirit's emotional depth and dramatic contrasts. The movement's emphasis on individual rights and freedoms fueled revolutionary movements. Romanticism's celebration of nature influenced the development of environmentalism. The legacy of Romanticism reminds us of the enduring power of art to inspire and connect us to something larger.